Soars. Good afternoon, this is Soars Matter, case D10-434-927D. Counsel, if you could state your appearances for the record.
Thank you for your honor, bar number 11111 on behalf of Shannon Suarez, who is present. Amy Maston, bar number 6411 on behalf of Yukio Suarez, who is also present.
Okay, parties went to mediation and impasse was declared. We can set the matter for an evidentiary hearing, or if the attorneys so stipulate, we can set the matter for resolution based on briefs and oral argument.
Judge, I'd be inclined to ask for an evidentiary hearing, unfortunately.
Yeah, no,
I was going to agree also, Your Honor.
Let's, March 30th? Okay, March 30th, 9 a.m., set for 3 hours. So you think we can do everything on that day, or are we just going to...
I expect that we should be able to.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think 3 hours.
All right, each side is limited to 90 minutes. That includes your opening statements, examination of your witnesses, cross-examination of the the other party's witnesses, closing arguments. Because we go so quickly, we require you to do certain things for us to expedite the process. For example, on or before March 23rd, each side is required to file a written pretrial memorandum that contains specific proposed orders regarding each and every issue you wish the court to address. Also, on or before the 23rd, any and all documents and or exhibits that you wish to use or introduce at the time of trial should be exchanged between the parties, and a courtesy copy provided to the court. Those documents should be bound, tabbed, and independently page numbered. The 16th of March will be your cutoff for discovery, and we would like to have witness lists by January 27th.
Thank you, Judge.
Anything else?
Yes, Judge. At the last hearing, the court did recognize that if there was an impasse, the court would address the visitation issues again. And if the court recalls, because the infant son of the parties, who is now 6 months old, was apparently having difficulty adjusting to bottle feeding, my client's time with him was somewhat limited to 8 hours on the weekend and then 3 hours on Wednesday. The baby's taking a bottle fine with my client. He's moved on to baby food. She's provided bottles even filled with apple juice. So obviously that's no longer an issue, and my client's seeking to expand the time that he has with Matthew. He's requesting that he have Matthew the same period of time that he has Mark, which is Friday through Sunday. This is every other weekend, unfortunately. Friday through Sunday at 5:30, and then every Wednesday 2:45 to 5:30. Your Honor, he's already been getting them the Wednesdays. The problem, and my client doesn't have a problem with him having extra time with the child. The problem with the overnights, while he's taking a bottle a lot better and he doesn't have problems switching at night when he's really tired, he does have a problem taking the bottle.
Oh, that's not going to be Mom's problem, though, is it?
No, Your Honor, but we are looking out for Matthew and what's easiest for the child and what's in his best interest.
I got you. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot and see how it goes. Now, sir, remember, okay, this is a 6-month-old. You got to use a lot of caution. Mom will probably be up at midnight anyway. So if if you're having a real dilemma with him, make sure you call Mom and let Mom know. Okay, because if there are issues with feeding and the child just colicky or whatever, or just giving you fits. Don't be afraid to call Mom. Well, I'm sure you would prefer to have a call at midnight or 2 in the morning than yeah.
He is feeding every hour and a half.
Heck, that might give you a full night's sleep, right? That might just work out all the way around. Let's give it a try. And look, I mean, if it doesn't work out, if Mom comes in and tells me what a rotten dad you are because you can't keep the kid all night, I'm not going to pay any attention to her, okay? Because you're doing the right thing, okay? It's an infant. By the same token, if the child goes over there and Dad can get him to, take care of him and get him through the night and everything, that's a benefit to you. That's a benefit to you. I might not feel like it, but it gets everybody on the same schedule, and I know that my wife sure appreciated a solid night's sleep. It didn't happen very often, but I can sleep through a freight train, but But every once in a while, she'd get a full night's sleep, and it was appreciated.
Your Honor, and I don't mean to nitpick, she had just mentioned that there's no crib that we believe at the house, if we can just confirm that.
Just provide some documentation, a snapshot or a receipt or something.
Something that we know that the baby has a place to sleep.
We don't want the child in the bed, read all that. It's been in the news again recently, so.
And Judge, a couple of other issues. First of all, Christmas is now coming up.
Right.
That happens to be a weekend that is not my client's weekend, and all he's asking for is
Middle of the dang
Christmas.
week, isn't it?
No, it's on a Saturday.
Yeah, it's the weekend. Christmas Eve is
Christmas
Saturday.
Eve, which is Friday, from 3 to 8 p.m. with the children. They have traditionally celebrated Christmas morning, so this shouldn't interfere with her scheduled plans.
My client's fine with him having Christmas Eve, Your Honor. and
Okay.
She's offered that in the past.
All right.
There's been some ongoing questions about my client's passport. I can assure you it's dated October 14th, the day after the hearing. He presented me with a copy of it. They continue to express concerns that my client intends to flee with the children. He does not. However, he is asking for what I believe are reasonable requests for documentation that he, as a co-parent, is entitled to. Immunization records. The pediatrician that he was aware of her using has not seen the infant since he was a month and a half old and hasn't seen the older child in a year and a half. My client wants to confirm that there's immunization records and find out who the child is seeing, and I think that's a reasonable request.
Do you want immunization on both kids, or
On both children, and just copies of the records.
just copies? Do you have those somewhere?
Your Honor, the Clark County no longer gives immunization records physical. They get it through the doctor.
Well,
It's on.
he
it's
tried that.
computerized.
If I can, Dr. White was the pediatrician, and I don't know if that's the name of the doctor, the pediatrician that you had. And they had discussed, Mom was looking for a new pediatrician. In the past, I don't know if both parties were not happy with Dr. White, and she did just recently get Dr. McGee at the Fremont Children's Clinic. The children were sick with a cold a while back, and defendant had taken them to a quick care clinic without notifying Mom, and I guess they were no knowledge of their allergies or anything, and they were given some antibiotics, and the kids were started on the antibiotics without discussing with Mom first. So I did want to present to the court today, and like I said, Dr. McGee with Fremont Children's Clinic is the current doctor. If defendant has a problem with that, they can certainly discuss about looking into another pediatrician, but that's the one that Mom had found.
How long as you
just
wait at
recently.
Fremont when you take him in? How long do you wait at Fremont when you take him in?
I'm sorry, this one, I only waited 20 minutes.
All right, look, parties have joint legal custody. Provide Dad with contact for there has to be some kind of an immunization record. There's got to be something somehow that you
She
can.
provided something to the school to enroll the younger child, or the older
The
child,
doctors, I would
excuse me.
imagine, would have it on record, and as dad, he should be able to get all the medical records with the doctors. We do still have a concern with the Brazil passport, and I don't want to keep pushing the issue. It's my understanding that both parties are required to sign something, even for Brazil. We've done some research into it, but it's also our understanding that he has a female companion. Just with these kids getting out of this state or this country, especially, it is a big
Counsel, you
concern.
continue to hold his passport,
She
right?
said it was a copy, Your Honor.
I didn't say it was a
You
copy. I
mentioned
have
it was
it.
a I'm sorry, Ms.
Original
Mack.
passport.
no,
That's
she's-
what you was ordered to.
Yeah, she's got the
provide.
passport, and that satisfies my requirement at this.
Okay.
Satisfies me at this point in time.
Judge, my client is scheduled for a citizenship hearing here in the United States that requires him to provide his passport, and that's scheduled for January 4th. I'm asking for the court's permission to release it to him.
Is that a day when he has custody of the children?
No,
No. Okay. Just
give it to him that
you
day.
give him that day and bring it back to her within 20 before you see the kids again. And you might want to call or you might want to, as soon as you get it back, you might want to just send an email or something to plaintiff's counsel and confirm that the passport's been returned.
And I have discussed with my client too, as far as the doctors go, to make sure she does communicate to
Yeah,
the
both of
defendant
you.
with
You
the
both
doctor.
need to communicate a little bit better. I mean, even for just a quick care visit or anything like that, even well visits, you should be communicating and working together to find a consistent pediatrician. That's the only problem I usually have with Fremont is you never, I don't know if their children's clinic is any different from their regular, but you got no control over who you see, and one day you might see a doctor that's fine, and the next time see some quack from Lord knows where, right? Okay. Anything else, counsel?
That was it on our end. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right. Once again, sir, if you have problems with the baby at night, don't hesitate to call. Okay. Don't try and macho it out. That works for us, but not for 6 months old. Okay. Throw out the lifeline and you know be cautious. Okay. Thank you. We'll see you back in March.
Thank you, Judge. Yes, Judge, the last order was submitted to the court November 9th. I dropped it off, and I haven't received it back. Did it get to you?
I'm sorry, I apologize, Your Honor. We don't get down to this court very often. It was put in our box, and I did get it. I don't think it's been e-filed yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
It has.
No, yeah, I have that problem sometimes,
Your Honor,
too.
I'm sorry, Mike, can I just brought up one remaining issue? With the $200 she's receiving a month, she's having a problem with her is it the cell
The
phone?
cell phone that.
The cell phone
we
is
have
broken. She doesn't
communication.
have the funds to get it fixed,
She gets
and that's her.
$1,400 a month.
Well, with child support, but the spousal was only $200. So she's just asking for a little bit of help to try to get her a new cell phone to get
Well, I
it
think
fixed.
she can go get a pay-as-you-go phone for $30 or $40.
They're on the same cell phone plan.
You can still get a pay-as-you-go phone.
You know, I mean, we don't want some contract that's going to go on beyond the life of the marriage, really. So, this might be a good opportunity to do something else. She should make efforts. I mean, you can get a phone for free when you sign up on a new plan. So, and then let him know as soon as you got the new phone. They'll transfer your number, or whatever, and then he can take that off of his.
That'll be another expense to her for the cell phone bill, obviously, because right now I think he's carrying all the rest of the community expenses.
It shouldn't.
So
I mean, I don't anticipate it to be a whole lot. If it is an issue, then come back and see me. But I mean, you can get a fairly inexpensive plan.
Thank you.
Sprint.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Cricket. Right? Isn't that the one? I don't know either.